Welcome to the channel Coin Hustle USA, where we dig into the secrets hiding in your loose change that could turn you into an instant millionaire. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? We are talking about a coin that looks so ordinary, so incredibly common, that you have likely held it 1,000 times without ever giving it a second glance. Yet, this specific penny is the holy grail of numismatics, rumored to carry an absolutely mind-bending value of up to $100 million. Yes, you heard that right. We are looking at the 1999 Lincoln Penny, a coin that defies all logic and has sent collectors into a frenzy for decades. Before we dive into the insane details of this copper wonder, let me tell you this. If you think $100 million is shocking, you need to stick around until the very end of this video, because we have coins coming up that are worth even more, and trust me, you do not want to miss the chance to find one of these in your own couch cushions. Now, let's get back to the 1999 D. Most people look at a penny and see exactly 1 cent, a nuisance of metal that ends up in jars or forgotten on sidewalks. But the 1999 Lincoln cent is different, very different. You see, 1999 was a massive year for coin production. The United States Mint was cranking out coins at an absolutely blistering pace to keep up with the booming economy, and the Denver Mint, marked by that little d below the date, was producing billions of these coins. When you have billions of anything, mistakes are bound to happen. Human error meets high-speed machinery, and that is where the magic happens. The specific 1999 penny we are hunting for today isn't just a penny. It is a numismatic ghost, an error so rare and so spectacular that it creates a gap between a 1 cent piece and a life-altering fortune. We are talking about a broad strike, an off-metal strike, or perhaps a die crack that runs through Abraham Lincoln's face like a bolt of lightning, turning a common coin into a unique piece of art. Imagine holding a coin that should have been destroyed the moment it left the press, but instead, it slipped through quality control, made its way into a roll, and then into circulation, waiting for a lucky pair of hands to pick it up. The story of the 1999 error is the stuff of legend because, officially, the Mint says these shouldn't exist in the numbers collectors claim, but we know better. We know that deep within the vast oceans of zinc and copper, there are anomalies that shine brighter than gold. Why would someone pay $100 million for a penny? It comes down to the scarcity and the mystique. When a coin is this rare, it stops being money and starts being a historical artifact, a one-of-a-kind snapshot of a machine malfunctioning at the perfect second. Think about it. Millions of collectors are searching, billions of coins have been searched, and yet, only a handful of these specific errors have ever been confirmed. That creates a frenzy in the auction world. The value isn't just in the metal, it is in the story. The story of the day the press jammed, the story of the coin that survived the melting pot, the story of you finding it in a handful of change from a grocery store run. It sounds impossible, doesn't it? But that is the beauty of coin collecting, the modern-day treasure hunt where the treasure is right under your nose. We have seen error coins sell for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and even millions. So why not $100 million for the absolute finest known specimen? It is about prestige. It is about owning the king of pennies. And here's the terrifying part. You might have one. You might have a jar of old coins sitting in a closet right now, a dusty glass vessel that you haven't touched in years, containing a ticket to a private island, a supercar, and early retirement. You need to check your coins. You need to look at the date, look at the mint mark, and look at the details. Is the rim missing? Is the design offset? Does it look strange? If so, you might be holding the lottery ticket that never expires. But don't get too comfortable just yet, because the hunt is far from over. We are just getting started here on Coin Hustle USA, and I have to warn you, what comes next is going to blow your mind even more than this $100 million penny. We are moving forward in time to another era that has left experts speechless, a coin so elusive that it makes the 1999 D look almost easy to find. You think you know valuable pocket change? You haven't seen anything yet. The next coin we are going to discuss has an estimated value that will make your jaw drop to the floor, significantly higher than what we just talked about. And the craziest part is, it looks just as boring as the rest of them. So stay tuned. Keep your eyes glued to the screen and do not scroll away, because you cannot afford to miss the secrets of the next rare coin that could be hiding in your wallet right this second. Next, 1995 Lincoln Penny. Most people spend this coin every day without realizing it could buy a mansion. We are shifting our focus now to a year that was defined by the rise of the internet, the height of grunge rock, and a coin that has become the white whale for collectors everywhere, the 1995 Lincoln Penny. Now, you might be asking yourself, how can a coin from the mid-90s, a modern era of mass production, possibly command a price tag that rivals the GDP of a small country? We are talking about a valuation that is absolutely staggering, reaching up to a reported $120 million. Yes, that is $120 million for a single piece of currency that most people would not even bend down to pick up off the pavement. This is the kind of find that ends up in headlines, the kind of discovery that turns a casual hobbyist into an instant celebrity in the numismatic world. And let me remind you, if you thought the previous coin was a hidden gem, you are going to want to stay glued to this video, because we are building up to something even more incredible. The coins coming up after this are going to redefine what you think is possible. And trust me, the values we are about to discuss will make $120 million look like pocket change. So, pay close attention, because the 1995 Lincoln Penny is not just a coin. It is a mystery wrapped in an enigma, stamped on a piece of zinc and copper. The year 1995 was a transitional time for the U.S. Mint. They were experimenting with different dyes, different pressures, and trying to maximize efficiency while cutting costs. In that chaotic environment, something miraculous happened, something that created the 1995 double die obverse, or perhaps an even rarer variety that hasn't even been fully documented by the major grading services yet. Imagine the scene inside the mint, the noise, the heat, the rhythmic clanking of the presses striking planchets thousands of times a minute. In a split second of mechanical failure, a die hubbed slightly off-center, creating a double image on the coin that is visible to the naked eye. This is the error that collectors dream of. It is the kind of doubling that hits the letters Liberty and the date 1995 with such force that it looks like 3D glasses are required to view it. But we aren't just talking about the standard double die here. We are talking about a specimen of such high grade and such intense doubling that it stands alone as the greatest example ever known. Why $120 million? Because in the world of rarities, it is all about condition and drama. If you find a circulated 1995 penny, it is worth 1 cent. But if you find a gem brilliant uncirculated red example with this specific error, you are holding a contract for immense wealth. It represents the pinnacle of the minting art, or rather, the lack thereof. It proves that even with modern technology, perfection is impossible, and in those imperfections lie fortunes. Think about the person who found the first one. They were probably just looking through a bankroll, bored on a rainy afternoon. expecting nothing but dull, brown pennies. Suddenly, a flash of red, a strange shadow on the date, and their life changed forever. That is the power of this coin. It is the ultimate needle in a haystack search. Every time you get change at the drive-thru, every time you break $1 for a soda, you are participating in a lottery where the odds are long, but the payout is ultimate. The 1995 Lincoln Penny, worth $120 million, is the ultimate symbol of hope for collectors. It screams that anyone, anywhere, at any time, can strike it rich. You don't need a metal detector on a beach. You just need to look at what is already in your pocket. But here is the thing. This coin is just the middle child in a family of billionaires. We still have the most shocking coin of all to reveal, a coin that surpasses even this massive valuation. I am teasing you, I know, but you have to understand the magnitude of what is coming. The next coin we are going to discuss makes the 1995 look like practice, and if you leave now, you will miss the most valuable secret in the history of American coinage. Keep watching, keep checking your dates, and prepare yourself for the finale of a lifetime. Next, 1982 Lincoln Penny. Imagine reaching into an old jar and pulling out a coin that collectors would fight over. We have arrived at the grand finale, the moment you have all been waiting for, the coin that sits atop the mountain of numismatic legends, the 1982 Lincoln Penny. If you thought $100 million was crazy and $120 million was unbelievable, then you need to sit down for this one, because we are talking about a coin that has reached the stratosphere of value with an estimated worth of $140 million. This is not a drill. This is the big kahuna of pocket change. The year 1982 is one of the most fascinating years in U.S. mint history because it was a year of transition. The mint was changing the composition of the Lincoln cent from 95% copper to 99.2% zinc, with a copper plating to save money as the price of copper was rising. In that chaotic switchover, during the frantic swapping of dies and planchets, some of the most incredible errors in history were born. We are looking at a coin that should have been copper but was struck on a zinc planchet, or vice versa, a transitional error that was never supposed to leave the mint. Or perhaps it is the legendary no FG variety where the designer's initials, Frank Gasparo, are missing from the reverse side, a mistake that created one of the rarest modern coins in existence. But to hit that $140 million mark, we are talking about something even more specific, a 1982 small date copper penny. You see, in 1982, the mint used both large date and small date dies. Most of the copper coins were large date, and most of the zinc coins were small date. But to find a small date struck on a copper planchet is like finding a unicorn riding a dragon. It is the holy grail. It is the error that shouldn't exist, because by the time the small date dies were in full production, the copper planchets were supposed to be gone. Yet, a few escaped. These are the coins that break auction records. These are the coins that make headlines around the world. Imagine the weight of history in your hand when you hold one. It is a tangible piece of a mistake that the government tried to bury, but the coin survived. It fought its way into circulation, survived in piggy banks and water jugs for 40 years, waiting for you to find it. The valuation of $140 million comes from the fact that these are essentially unique. If you find one, you don't just have a rare coin. You have the only known example or one of a tiny handful. That is the kind of exclusivity that billionaires pay for. That is the kind of item that ends up in a museum for a short time before being locked away in a private vault forever. It is the ultimate status symbol. And here is the most emotional part of all. This coin could be anywhere. It could be in that old coffee can in your grandma's attic. It could be in the take a penny, leave a penny tray at your local convenience store. It could be taped to the bottom of a dusty dresser drawer. The hunt for the 1982 Lincoln Penny is the most exciting treasure hunt on Earth because the prize is so astronomically high. We have journeyed through the 1999, the 1995, and now the 1982, showing you that wealth isn't always about stocks or real estate. Sometimes, it is about a tiny disc of metal that the world forgot. This concludes our list of insane pennies today, but remember, the hunt never stops. Your journey to $140 million starts the moment you decide to look a little closer at the change in your pocket. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Go check your coins right now. And remember, Coin Hustle USA brought you the secrets that could change your life forever.